Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, Cooking for the Family. I'm Dyvonne, and today I'm going to share with y'all a quick family meal that I like to make. It's just one of those that is really easy to put together. It doesn't take a lot of ingredients, and so this is one I wanted to share with y'all. This is my baked garlic herb ranch chicken. So first I have 10 pieces of chicken, and I'm using legs and thighs. You can also use a breast if you like. And I'm going to use the garlic and herb breadcrumbs. What's great and simple about this recipe is that we're not going to put any additional seasoning on our chicken. You definitely can put some salt and pepper or other seasonings if you like, but I keep it simple because I feel like the garlic and herb breadcrumbs as well as the ranch seasoning is going to give us plenty of flavor, and it always does. So I have here 1 cup of the garlic herb breadcrumbs. Then to that I'm going to add, I have some of the ranch dressing, the seasoning, and so I'm going to also use 1/4 of a cup of that. Now if you're going to be buying the packets you would need 2 of the packets. 2 of the packets is going to equal 1/4 of a cup. Now next what I do is I just take my freezer bag or plastic bag you have, and I put in the breadcrumbs as well as the dry ranch dressing mix. Then I just mix it around just like I'm doing there. I want to make sure that the 2 ingredients, the 2 dry ingredients, are well incorporated together. Okay, so want to have everything where it's a nice cohesive color. Then I take my chicken. I've washed my chicken, and I've also patted it dry just slightly because you do want a tiny bit of moisture to your chicken, so that way the breadcrumbs and the ranch will stick to it. And the packets for the ranch is the 1 ounce size packet, because in that packet you're going to get 2 tablespoons, and so 2 of those packets together is going to equal 1/4 of a cup, and that's the measurement that I always use. Also, with the ranch packet, it'll say salad dressing and dip mix. That's the one that I use. And so once I've kind of shaken the chicken around the bag, I have my pan that I've lined, my cookie sheet that I've lined with foil. It's going to make cleanup a lot much easier. And then I just continue with the chicken, alternating. And I usually just like to put a couple of pieces in the bag at a time. Now, if you're going to just be making this meal for just 2 or 3 people, you don't need to use as much breadcrumbs or as much of the ranch dressing mix. You can just reduce that down to half. Now I'm using the legs and the thighs, and I believe I mentioned that you can use chicken breast as well. You can also use the bone-in chicken breast, boneless, skinless chicken breast, and you know also what works great is chicken wings. You can also use this seasoning to go on and season up chicken wings and bake them in the oven as well. In the description box below, I will have a list of all the ingredients you need to make this very simple garlic herb ranch chicken. Now, I know I've mentioned it before. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and growing up, there was this thing called shake and bake. And I don't even know if they still have that on the market, but for some of you who may be in my age group, you know what I'm talking about. So this is like making your own homemade shake and bake. So now that I have all the chicken on my cookie sheet, I've washed up my hands, and now we're going to put our chicken in the oven. Our chicken's going to bake at 375 for 50 minutes to 1 hour and 10 minutes till it's nice and done, and it'll be nice and golden brown. On my chicken, I also sprinkled just a little bit more of the seasoning mixture right on top of the chicken. And before I put the chicken on the foil, I did not put any oil or butter or anything on the foil. I'm not going to be flipping the chicken. I'm going to let it bake until it's nice golden brown and the juices run clear. Now for our potatoes, I'm using russet potatoes. You can use russet potatoes, Idaho potatoes, Yukon Gold potatoes. I have about 3 pounds of potatoes, and I've put a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon of salt in the water. So this is our chicken. Our chicken is coming along nicely. See how it is starting to get nice golden brown, and you see how the juices are starting to run clear. That's what you want to look for. So our chicken is done. It is out of the oven. It baked up for 1 hour and 5 minutes. Now I'm checking on our potatoes. Our potatoes are boiling up nicely. When I stick my fork in, my fork goes in easily. That lets me know the potatoes are ready. And I cut the potatoes about half the size of, say, a large egg. So after I've drained my potatoes, I'm going to go ahead and put some butter. And I put in a couple of tablespoons of butter. Then once I have my butter in there, I'm going to use my potato masher and start to mash my potatoes. And I'm going to mash the potatoes until there are no more big pieces, no more big chunks. And I like to do this before I add any liquid into my pot. To finish creaming my potatoes, I like to use half and half. You can use half and half or you can use whole milk. I really like using the half and half. It makes the potatoes nice and extra creamy. And I put in a half a cup of the half and half. I don't put all the liquid that I need in at one time. I just put in a little bit and then I kind of mix the potatoes around until I see what the consistency is looking like. And then I'll go ahead and add a little bit more of my half and half as needed. So the potatoes are looking good. I'm going to go ahead and give them a try and see if we need to add any additional seasoning. The potatoes look nice and creamy. Need a little bit more seasoning. I'm going to add a little bit more salt, and I'm also going to add some coarse black pepper, just a few shakes, and you can add your salt and your pepper to your taste. And then once I have the salt and pepper in there, I'm just going to add a little bit more butter, about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. I've got my fire going on now on my mixed vegetables. Our easy weeknight dinner is almost ready. Our dinner is ready. I have served us up a plate. We have our mashed potatoes. We have our mixed vegetables. We also have our chicken that we baked in the oven with that wonderful coating that we also added to it. And you know me, I like a little bit of parsley. So I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit of parsley right on top. Our chicken is looking good. It has baked all the way through and it is still nice and juicy. Are you ready to take your bite? This first bite is for you. Now I'm going to take my bite and see how we did. The flavors are spot on. The garlic, herb, and ranch, it's all coming through in the chicken. It is not over seasoned. It is just right. And you know, my family, they like to add a little bit of hot sauce to their chicken or a little bit of picante. And the chicken is juicy, y'all. I had to go on and grab a napkin. And so let me go ahead and try our mashed potatoes, our nice creamy mashed potatoes with some mixed vegetables. Those are looking good. Goes great with this dinner. And so this is nice because this chicken, you get the best of both worlds, where you have that coating as if you had fried the chicken, but we have baked it in the oven and we just went on and put it in there and let the chicken cook and do its thing. It came out nice, tender, full of flavor. Well, I hope you give this recipe a try. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I invite you to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, don't forget to show it some love. Give it a thumbs up. Click share and share this video with a friend or a family. And remember, it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.